broadcasting to the Northwest and around the world. This is L35 Online Radio. Call Phil now on 07561 157 404 and have your say.
Well, it's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, which means it's time for Have Your Say on L35 Online Radio. You've got myself, Phil Sephton.
I'm Neil Murray.
It's going to be an interesting show tonight.
It is, mate. It's a really busy one, isn't it? And all for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is. I think it's going to be a sad.
It is. It's a bit of a heart wrencher. It's reality, unfortunately, at this moment in time. I don't know. I mean, obviously, last night there was. Shirley Park,
St Helens, yeah.
Shirley Park, there's some poor person got stabbed there. It's
just absolute madness.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. It really is.
It's happening all over the country. And
that's what I mean. It's not just here, is it? No, it's everywhere. And I heard also as well that a knife was found by police.
By the police, yeah.
Someone
did, yes.
phoned the police and told them, they found a knife, and the police and they did clarify that. It's after what's gone over the last 2 years, it's absolutely it's mind-boggling. It really is.
And something does need to be done. So coming up on tonight's show, so we've got Dawn Jones from the Daniel Fox Foundation. We've also got Julie Atkinson from Adam and Alan Walsh from Real Men Don't Carry Knives. Now, all of these people have been affected by knife crime over the last couple of years. So we're just going to have a little chat to them and see how it has affected them and what the groups are doing to actually tackle this. Because I was actually on a phone call with one of them last night, and I was saying that it does seem to be the community that are coming together to try and tackle this now, because obviously there isn't a lot of resources. So, the community do seem to be coming together to actually do it.
Yeah. It's it's going to be a tough one, but it's I say it's reality at the moment, and it's I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It really is. But we're going to speak to Dawn next. We're going to play a little tune, and then we'll be speaking to Dawn next.
Got something on your mind? Then call Phil on 07561 157 404 and have your say. Something on your mind? Then call Phil on 07561 157 404 and have your say.
Welcome back to Have Your Say. If you do want to get in touch tonight, you can email us at studio@l35onlineradio.co.uk. You can WhatsApp or text us on 07561 157 404, or head over to the Facebook page, send us a message, comment on one of the posts that we've been sharing today, and we can get you on later on.
Yeah, there's any possibilities. The phone line's going to be a bit busy, like I said. We've got a lot of phone calls to make, and unfortunately we don't have the technology to involve loads of calls at one time, which we are working on.
We are working on that
but we were also trying to do a Facebook Live tonight, but unfortunately we can get the images, but we can't get an audio for some strange reason. So it was a little bit disappointing, but as long as we can put it on this, that's a good sign. So we'll
have it sorted soon.
Yeah, we will indeed.
We'll get the techies on it.
Yeah.
So we're now joined by Dawn Jones from the Daniel Fox Foundation.
Carrying knives is illegal. We do teach. We go into schools, to primary schools, to year 5 and 6, and age appropriate workshops are done with these children, because obviously we can't do the graphic ones that we do in high schools and colleges to primary schools. So we have an age appropriate a program that we do for different schools, primary and high schools.
So the foundation does, so it basically covers from primary school right up into college then, which is, so you're sort of capturing everyone with the message that you're trying to get across.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just us. I mean, we work in partnership with the police. We work in partnership with the youth offending team. We work in partnership with Alan Walsh, who does, the youth offenders and that side of things. So we capture the schools where everything else is captured by the police and the likes of Alan Walsh, which is fantastic partnership working.
Yeah, because we've got Alan coming on later tonight, actually, after 9 o'clock. He's going to be talking about the Real Men Don't Carry Knives.
Yeah.
And, it's as I was saying yesterday, I've seen, the community really is now starting to come together to tackle this, which they shouldn't have to do, but on the same token, it's good to see that people are actually supporting each other because we can't always rely on the police at the minute and stuff, because there is a lot of budget cuts, and, it's good that groups are working together to get the message out.
It is, and it's sad that the groups such as the Daniel Fox Foundation, Adam Ellison, and Sam Cooke, we're kind of in a group now that we didn't want to be in because of sad circumstances. But with posterity and everything, with the government, the police are pulled apart anyway with the work that they do, which is absolutely fantastic. It's left to the likes of grieving families to carry on and do these kind of things for the good of the communities.
Definitely. And how did this affect the family?
Oh, there's no one word that you can put on how it affects the family. It's devastation. It's 24/7 living with it. It's the families that have the life sentence. We live with that life sentence forever. But these kind of tragedies have a ripple effect, and the ripple effect is not only does it affect the family, it affects Daniel's friends, it affects the community. It affects everybody, and it does ripple on to affect everybody. And we need to sort of educate people to show that the children and the students, that they have choices. They don't have to pick up a knife and go out with it.
That's it. I mean, like, you see it sometimes that the kids think it's cool to carry a knife, and they look hard in front of the mates because they've got a knife, and it's like, you're not hard if you've got to carry a weapon, to me.
No. It's a lot of it is peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of it is peer pressure, and on our education program we talk about that, to reassure the children and the students that they don't have to go through this peer pressure. A lot of it is they don't understand the law. It is against the law to carry a knife, and you can get at the moment 4 years for carrying a knife. There's also a lot of it they don't understand joint enterprise, where if you're stood with somebody who commits a crime with a knife, you could be prosecuted as well, which is called joint enterprise.
Ah, right, okay. I didn't know that either, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a lot of the things that we talk about in the education program. So it's not cool. The only reason that these people carry knives is to either make younger innocent people do the dirty work for them, or they're just cowards and bullies, and they should not be carrying knives. But for me, they're getting away with it because the justice system is wrong. The justice system needs to be tougher.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, because I did follow the trial, to be honest, and I was absolutely gobsmacked at the fact that the way that he got away with it as well. It's just madness. It's absolute madness. And I mean, I don't know why the CPS didn't charge him for actually carrying the knife as well. Like, I know he was up for murder, but if they'd charged him for carrying the knife, he would have at least got something.
Yeah, the reason behind that was that the police and we have to praise the police, because they did such an absolutely fantastic job. Worked so hard on Daniel's case, and they do work hard on every other case that they do as well. They took that to the CPS, and the CPS turned around and said, right, we're charging him with murder. Just murder. This is pure murder, this is. So on the indictment, they didn't put carrying a knife. So once you've done that, you can't go back and put a knife on the indictment. So they were convinced that they would get a conviction of him being prosecuted for murder. He turned around and claimed self-defense, that he was carrying a knife for self-defense, walking around with it. The law says you cannot carry a knife in the streets at night. So how can you claim self-defense when you shouldn't be carrying a knife in the first place?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
To me,
It-
that's
it's
just a bit of a get
contradiction.
out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's contradiction. If you're not allowed to carry a knife, you can't claim self-defense. So the reason it was a hung jury was because the jury did not understand the law and asked the judge for direction and didn't get it. So they said, we can't come to a decision.
So the justice system failed on this one,
The
basically.
justice system failed us. And and I'm not talking out of term here. He even said on the stand, I won't say the swear words because every other word was a swear word in court with him. But he said, I know I murdered Danny Fox.
You see, and I just can't see how a jury can come back and say, we can't decide. I can't.
There you go. That's what we don't understand. And we've fought with the CPS for 3 years now. But it all stems on not giving us a third trial because of money.
And and this is the thing, there's so many cuts going on. People in the community are getting affected by it in ways that you don't think. You see all the politicians on the TV saying, like the NHS and police and stuff, but they don't actually see the effect it has on the community. It's as you've just said, then you can't get a third trial really because of the money.
Yeah, because of the cost of it. Yeah.
And money shouldn't come into it. At the end
Not
of the
when
day,
you've lost a life.
exactly,
No.
he should be behind bars for what he did. And the fact he got away with it, I think that affected a lot of the community as well.
It did. And I don't know, I can't say for sure, but for me, over the last 3 years, knife crime has escalated because people have thought, oh, he's got off with murder because he claims self-defense. I'll do that.
Exactly. So that sort of sends a message out to people. Well, even though it's illegal to carry a knife, you can actually carry one because you think it's self-defense.
But
which is just so stupid. It's so silly.
Yeah. And I mean, we were let down by the justice system a lot, really. Not only just on that side of it, but our barristers leaving, a week before the end of it and things like that. So we'd nobody on the last week to fight our case. So, but we've tried. We've had the CPS up from London. We've tried to ask for a third trial. But I've followed him, and he's now in jail because he went out and offended again with a knife, and he's now behind bars. So at least he can't hurt anybody else at the moment. So that's good. That's a good thing.
Well, yeah, but then if he had been put away like he should have been, he wouldn't have been able to go out and use another knife on someone else.
Absolutely. And that's our point to the CPS. You let him go, but he's no remorse, he's no respect for the law. He's just laughed in the faces and done it again.
It's just mind-boggling. It really, really is.
It's disgusting. It really is. There's no justice system.
No.
The law is antiquated and it needs bringing into the 20th century, and that's why we were doing this petition to do that. Yeah,
do you know, just before we came on, I was actually on Facebook and I saw a link on the Certainly Star saying that the petition's been cancelled because of the election. I was actually going to ask you about it towards the end.
Yeah, very, very annoyed. I've calmed down today, luckily enough, to do this chat with you. But when I came out of the school at dinner time and found this out, and I saw on Facebook that everybody is absolutely disgusted and ranting and raving about it. And basically what's happened is we had to get to 100,000 to have a debate in Parliament on changing the law on knife crime. We were at just over 75,000 signatures, and we were well on target to get 100,000. And the government didn't give us any notice. They just shut it down yesterday and said this was due to the general election. And when a general election comes up, I understand the rules on that. That the government they can't do anything. It's frozen. Everything's gone. But until the election's over and they've got a new government in place who can then talk about any petitions. However, petitions that are now in place get deleted. So I was absolutely furious because we've done an awful lot of work on this, especially with the Adam Ellison family. And we're now looking at asking why they couldn't just freeze this petition until after the general election.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they can't, because obviously a new government's going to be formed in December, so they can debate it when they go back into Parliament. I don't see why they need to cancel the petition. I really can't get my head around that. It's as you say, it is one of the rules, but I don't understand why that needs to be a rule. I don't understand why, because you want the government to speak about it, whoever the government is at the time. So I don't see why it needs to be cancelled. It could have just been paused until after the election.
I totally agree with you, and this is what we're fighting for now, and this is we're trying to get a lot of publicity out there about it, to say that this is wrong. To 75,000 people up to now have said they want changes to the law. They want safer communities. They want their families safer, and the government should do something about it. The government work for us, and they should be doing this. We shouldn't have to do this petition. They should be doing it anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we're going to fight this to say, it should be just frozen until after the general election.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, because it's as you said in the article there that you actually got 5,000 signatures last night alone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you would have hit that 100,000 pretty quick, I'd imagine. And the fact they've just deleted all those people off who have signed something.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's an absolute disgrace. I genuinely can't get my head around it, to be honest with you.
Well, we're not going to let that lie. We're going to fight that.
No,
we are going to fight it.
So what work do you do with the police and other authorities in the respect to knife crime and stuff, and other violent crimes, really?
We've not so much as worked in other authorities. We focus our campaign in St Helens. There are other people that work, sort of like Adam Ellison's family work in Knowsley and Huyton. And then you've got others that work it from the No More Knife campaign that work in Liverpool and places. So we all fit together like a jigsaw because we haven't got the resources to go over to other places and other authorities. But we do work with the police. We have monthly meetings with the police and the council to sort of work on how we can reassure the public to come back into the town and enjoy themselves. And that's why we put in the magnetic wands. So it is a deterrent. So if you're carrying a knife and you see a magnetic wand on the door, you're not going to try and get in there because you will be detected.
You're just going to walk past, aren't you, really?
Well, if we've got them on every door, why come to St Helens with it?
Exactly, because they know they're not going to get in, isn't it? So, yeah, I can see why that would work, because obviously they're going to come into the town and there's nowhere they can go.
We need that everywhere. We do the knife arches, we need the magnetic wands, we need the magnetic gloves that censor it as well. And we need to make a stand. But in respect to the work that we do, we need the government to do the law changes as well. It needs to be everybody working together.
Definitely. So what type of law changes is the foundation wanting the government to do?
Well, currently it stands at if you are found in possession of a knife, you can be put away in jail for 4 years. We want, and for me, all I see is people get a slap on the wrist and they say, "Oh, go away, don't do it again." But for me, if you get caught with a gun, you immediately go straight to jail for 5 years. So we want knife crime bringing in line with that. With firearms, yeah.
Because a gun's a gun, obviously, but a knife is just as deadly, in my opinion. A gun just means you don't have to be as close to someone. But a knife is just as bad. So I can't understand why they have a difference of law there myself. I
think it's antiquated. It's so old, the law, and because because of all the knife crime that's escalated now over the past years, the law needs to be brought up and updated and changed. Because there's no deterrent with the law.
No. Well, obviously with him getting off like he did, it's not setting an example to people where they're saying, well, if you are caught with a knife, you are going to jail. It's the top and bottom of it. But whereas, you know, he got away with it on the back of something. He just got away with it by using a self-defense. And, you know, it's wrong. And the government do need to do something, and not, you know, they need to do something nationally to alleviate it, really.
It does, and there's an awful lot of organisations working so hard to fight against knife crime. I mean, last year we were invited down to London to see the Benkin Cellar Trust, and they've been working hard for nearly 10 years now since Ben was killed by knife crime. And, you know, I think there's 34 boroughs in London, so they've got an awfully tough job down there. We've got 5 boroughs in St Helens. So it's harder for them to sort of do things, but they need the government backing behind them as a deterrent, as we all do. There's a lot of people working on knife crime.
So, have you actually met with any of the government ministers and stuff about it? Or is it all mainly local?
A lot of it's local, but I did go down to Westminster with Merseyside Police, Chris Sephton and Louise Harrison. Went down there last year, did a talk at Westminster Knife Crime conference, which was good, and there was a lot of influential people there as well.
Which is good. That's a good thing that, like, you know, and it shows, like, it's as you just said then, that the police themselves, they are heavily involved in it and trying to alleviate it. But I know from personal experience, because I've got family in the police, I see how hard that they work, and, you know, but the hands are tied a lot of the times because they just don't have the resources. So maybe that's something the government do need to do, is get more resources behind the police. You know, is that something you think might help the problem if the government did stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at last summer, the government came out and said they were putting 4.2 million nationally to the police for policing. Now, that needed to be allocated in the right direction to police on the streets, and not just moving police around from desk jobs to desk jobs. They need to put the police on the street. So 4.2 million nationally, that's not a lot of money.
No, that's nothing, is it, really?
It's not, but it's a step in the right direction. It's kind of like, you know, a little sweet that they've given us. But you're right, the police, you know, I can't praise Merseyside Police enough for the work that they do. I have seen the work that they do, and it's just so commendable. It's absolutely fantastic. And the work that they do with such small resources is fantastic. They will not give up on anything. They won't give up on knife crime. They won't give up on violent crimes or anything like that. Nothing. They won't. No,
and they don't. And as I say, I see it personally. So as I said, I've got members of the family in the police, and I see how this type of thing affects them. Not only the crime itself, but also the fact that they can only do so much because they're limited in what resources they've got, and they want to do more, but they can't. And that, you know, and this is where whoever wins this election, you know, I think there's too much being spoke about Brexit and stuff. We need to look at this type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Brexit should be put to the side. It should be things like this. This is important. These are the things that should be being discussed.
Definitely.
You know,
this is something that really annoys me. We've had 3 years of Brexit now, but we've had 3 years of them talking about Brexit where people are getting killed, and people are losing loved ones, and they're doing nothing about it. It's like, oh, you know, we'll leave that to one side. You cannot leave people getting murdered to one side.
No, you can't. You can't.
They've got to change. They've got to change the law.
Definitely. I mean, I'm just hoping that after this election and things calm down a bit, I'm hoping that actually whoever's in power then might actually start to look at things and say, right, we need to deal with this, we need to deal with that. But changing the law on the knives, it's just common sense. It's not even a hard thing to do. So I don't understand why it hasn't been done. Because you see it on Sky News all the time. Knife crime, knife crime, knife crime, knife crime. Someone's been stabbed, someone's been stabbed.
Yeah.
You see it in the local papers, someone's been stabbed. They know there's a problem. So how long can it take for them to say in Parliament, right, okay, we're going to change the sentence into 15 years if you're caught carrying a knife or something like that? It can't take that long.
No.
So I just don't understand why they're just not shifting on it.
Well, I'd honestly like to go down there and talk to them about it, because honestly, they need to hear it from a family's point of view who've lost a loved one, and listen to the work that they're doing. And we don't get paid for doing it. We do it because we don't want any other family to go through what we've been through. And a lot of the other organisations are the same. They do not want any other families going through the tragedy, the loss, the life sentence we're going through every day. They don't want that. That's why they do what they do.
Yeah, and I can't imagine, going through what your family's gone through and what Adam's family have gone through. I just couldn't imagine it. It just must be so hard, and to see something that can be so simple to be changed would help in such a big way. I just can't get my head around it. It's just silly.
We just ask the government just to back us and help us on this. We have the backing from local authority. We have the backing from the police. The families work hard. They work full time and they work hard on the foundation work and the education programs. We just want a bit of backing from the government to change the law, to make better deterrents. And these are the things all collectively together that will help to reduce knife crime. And this is what everybody wants.
It is, and I can't see why a government wouldn't want that. I mean, it's just common sense. It's just common sense. And, I know it may take a little bit of time, but it can't take that much time to say, right, well, actually, we're going to put the sentencing up if you're carrying a knife. It just can't take that much time, and they just don't seem to be bothered. And, and it's sad that, you guys are having to do this. You guys are having to go out and educate people, and you need the support. And it's, as you say, you have got the support locally, but nationally, they just seem to wash their hands of it because they're like, oh, well, they may see you doing all this stuff and be like, oh, well, they're doing it anyway, so we don't need to. But that, they should be getting behind you 100%.
I agree. I agree totally. That's exactly what it's like. And we feel like, this now with the petition being closed, it's just like a kick in the teeth for us. And you think, why? Why are they doing this to us? We're working so hard to make things right, and they just kick us in the teeth like that. And it's just, it's disrespectful when we're grieving for loved ones.
Yeah, and I was so shocked when I read that tonight. I just can't believe it. I'd have just thought they'd have paused it. In fact, I'd have thought they'd have carried it on, because the government will be back in 6 weeks. So
I can't see the harm in leaving it there.
No.
People want to sign it. They're on Facebook now asking me, can I sign it? Can I sign it? And I can't. They've locked it down. We can't get any more signatures on it. They locked it down last night. And it's a shame because we're losing signatures on it. But to redo it all again from scratch is, you cannot understand how hard it was to get to 75,000. It's a lot of hard work promoting that when you're doing everything else as well.
Yeah, 75,000. It's a lot of people to have actually got on the petition.
Yeah. How many does Everton Football Club hold? I don't know. How many did they hold on that stand?
I'm not. About 50,000, I would say, maybe 60,000.
Well, putting it into perspective, you look at a football ground. We've got more signatures than that ground can hold.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And now it's going to have to start again.
It's demoralising, but there's only so much you can do. You can't keep asking people to keep re-signing and re-signing. They're losing faith as well in the government.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that after this election is over, I'm hoping that things might start to change. As I said before, everything's just been shadowed by Brexit. The NHS, violent crime, everything.
Yeah.
People now are still, when there's a general election coming up, are still talk. It's like the Brexit, and it shouldn't be like that. There's real issues going on in local communities. This is what you should be voting for.
I know.
We need to get this sorted. We need the government to get this sorted and not just be concentrating on one thing because they want to stay in power. And that's from both sides. That's from all MPs and stuff, because they're just looking after themselves, to me.
Exactly.
And it's just completely wrong. It's wrong.
Well, that proves it, that they are looking after themselves to irresponsibly shut down a petition, close off a petition, which is so topical, knife crime, for the nation, not just for Merseyside or the North West. It's topical for the nation.
It's
and
the whole
government,
country.
Yeah, they just shut it down and think, oh, well, disregard that. It's not important. Of course it's important. People are losing lives. I'm sure, God forbid, if any of them in their ivory tower lost any of their family, it would be straight up at the top and the petition wouldn't be closed.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. It just seems like they're not bothered. To me, it's just like, oh, it's just a petition, close it down. But
yeah,
they need to be looking at these petitions, because there are going to be some petitions on there that are just so silly, but this is a serious petition. This isn't, this is a real petition. It's a serious petition, and the law needs changing. Definitely.
And we'll keep going at it. We'll keep. I mean, the Stars wrote to the petition commission and asked, hopefully we can keep this or freeze it at least until after the general election. We're going to get it out on media everywhere as much as we can, and raise this, so that everybody can back us on it, and hopefully we can get it just at least frozen.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should be able to do that. They should just be able to freeze it and then start it again after the general election, because they don't need to just delete it off.
No, I mean, I'm just reading there now that says that there's going to be a new petitions committee elected after the general election, and then they'll decide on the operation and its future rules. But like I say, they should just carry on from where they are and just pick it up rather than bring in the new committee.
I'm hoping it goes along those terms, yeah. But everything's up in the air at the moment because of Brexit and everything. So, but for me, yeah, Brexit's important, but for me, losing lives is more important.
Well, yeah, to me, even losing one life is more important than Brexit to me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We need to get to grips with this now as a country, really. Because, as I say, I'm 37. I hate walking down the street at night sometimes. If you see a gang of kids, I'll cross over the road. Because you don't know if they're carrying knives, and you see it on Facebook all the time. Or some little kids have just threw a brick at my car window as I'm driving past, and you're like, you just don't know. And we shouldn't live in a society where people don't feel safe walking down the streets. We just shouldn't be in a society like that. We just shouldn't.
No, you're absolutely right. That's why we've started with this education program from year 5 upwards. And as I say, it won't happen overnight with this. It's going to take at least 10 to 15 years for these children to grow up from primary school to change. I mean, we say to the students, to the children, you are our ambassadors for change. You're the ones that can make this change. and the response that we get back is phenomenal, because they want change, and that's good. But we have to get over the peer pressure. We have to make sure that the choices that they make are the right choices. But we can't make them do those choices. It's up to them.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is educate them and show
That's
them
right.
the consequences, and then it's down to them.
Yeah,
It's down to them.
yeah.
So we have run out of time now, Dawn. I could literally sit and chat about this all night. But it has been lovely speaking to you, and obviously I'll see you on Friday morning as well.
Oh, lovely. That'd be great. Yeah.
So it really has been lovely speaking to you, and please give my love to the rest of Danny's family as well.
I will do.
It's
Thank
heartbreaking.
you.
It is.
It is, yeah. But thank you for inviting me on, and I've enjoyed chatting with you both. Thank you.
Well, I'll speak to you on Friday, Dawn, and thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Dawn.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. See you Friday. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
L35 Online Radio. Call Phil now on 07561 157 404 and have your say. Got something on your mind? Then call Phil on 07561 157 404 and have your say.
Welcome back to Have Your Say on L35 Online Radio. It's been a bit of an emotional night tonight, I think.
It has, hasn't it? As you've been saying, then that petition is absolutely, it's wrong. Just to stop something in its tracks, which has got so much hard work gone into it to get it to the stage it was at, and then for someone to go, no, that's it. We're having an election. Everything stops. It should be just say suspended, halted for the time being, and then picked up after the election. It's wrong that they can just get rid of it all in a failed swoop. Some decisions say no, it doesn't matter. The election's far more important.
It's disgusting.
It's crazy.
It's
Absolutely
disgusting.
wrong.
If you do want to get in touch with us tonight regarding what we're talking about, you can email us at studio@l35onlineradio.co.uk. You can text or WhatsApp us on 07561 157 404, or of course you can head over to Facebook, send us a message or comment on the post that we've put up.
Yeah, we've got to put this post up this evening. So we were trying to do a Facebook Live, but unfortunately, we've got the video, but we've got no audio, so it's a bit pointless, really.
Yeah,
especially when it's a bit of a talk show, and we can see you, but that's
that's about
you can
it.
lip read, it'll be okay. Okay.
So we're joined on the line now by Julie Atkinson from the Adam Ellison Foundation. Hello, Julie. You okay?
Hi, yeah, fine, thank you. Yourself?
Aye, not too bad. Good. Not too bad. So, just wondering, for people that don't know, can you tell us a bit about Adam and who he was?
Yeah, I could stay here all night and tell you about him. Adam was a much wanted child. His mum and dad had a couple of miscarriages before he was born. And when he was born, he had 3 months because his 2 sisters were teenagers. He was a much loved and wanted child. We all adored him. Everybody who knew him adored him. The family he was gorgeous. He was beautiful and good natured. He went through school, went through college, and he had a lot of friends. He was loved by everyone. When you met him, he was, "Hi, Auntie Julie." We already met. "Hi, Auntie Julie. You okay? Yeah, are you okay?" And he'd give you the hug, and "I love you." And this is his greeting every time. And he had a smile, lit up any dark room, and he just told everybody, and he was so sincere. He was a good friend. He had a lot of time for his friends as well as his family. He just loved everybody unconditionally. He was a lovely, lovely lad. Never in trouble with the police. Just a genuinely nice lad. He was a pride and joy to his family. He was to all of us. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know him personally myself, but I did speak to him a couple of times in Tesco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was always so polite.
Because people. Sorry.
No, go on, carry on, sorry.
No, people would come in and he'd get stuff off the top shelf for them if they couldn't reach. And one time a lady came in and he took her home. He with her shopping. I mean, that's the kind of lad he was. He didn't know this lady and he took her home with her shopping. He's just a good lad.
It's just awful. And, so what actually happened on that? I mean, it was only 2 years ago this week.
2 years on Monday. Yeah, Monday gone. I can only tell you from what I saw that night, in all honesty. Adam came down to my house. He come calling for my son. They were going out to a night out. He came in, and like I said, I had Auntie Julie, okay, give me a hug. Yeah, one of them. And then he went upstairs to his son, and he come back down, and I just said to him, can you give me a lift up to the other lads? I said, because I'm babysitting. Yeah, not a problem. So I get in his car, and he takes me to my other sons, because they were all going out, and he just dropped me off. And that was the last time I've seen him alive. So then, all I can say is they've obviously had a good night out. There's been pictures put out, so he really had a really good night out. They all had fun. I was lying on the couch at my son's, and I could hear a lot of activity, like ambulances and police, and I'm thinking, my God, what's going on around here tonight? You know, there's something going on here. But I went to sleep again, and not long after, there was no conception of time, and the phone went. And when I answered the phone, it was my son's phone, but his friend was talking to me, so it kind of threw me. And he just said, Julie, do me a favour, can you get in touch with Joyce and Fred and tell them to go up to the Marketplace Church straight away? And I went, yeah, what's the matter? And he went, look, he just said, please, just do it. So I said, right, okay. And he put the phone down. So I had to phone my sister then, and I was hoping and praying that she would answer the phone, and to be fair with you, because his dad had just had a heart procedure that same week. So I didn't want him to answer the phone. And, you know, he did. He answered the phone, and it was really... I didn't know at this stage what had gone on. I just said to him, Fred, do us a favour, you need to go up to the church straight away to the Marketplace. Why? I said, I really don't know. I said, all I know is it must be for you, because they're asking for you and not for me. So he said, right. I said, well, I'll phone Nicola, which is the eldest sister. So I did, and I explained to her, I said, you need to go up there straight away. And then she got in touch with the youngest sister. So I then put the phone down. But I'm keeping in touch with the youngest sister. I'm saying to her, there's something going on. And she's saying, why? I'm saying, well, I'm getting a phone call to say something's happened. Nobody will tell me what's happened. And they've asked Joyce and Fred to go up point. I don't know what's going on. Anyhow, a while, I got in touch with my husband and said, look, get me doors to get closed, because just in case we have to go anywhere, because there's something going on. And then a while later, I get the phone call, and it was off my youngest son, and him and Adam, they were the best of friends. They were like brothers, you know. Adam should have been his best man last year. They really were a best of friends, you know. And he just said, Mum, Adam's in hospital. We're on the way to the hospital, and they're working on him. Well, I just went, what do you mean they're working on him? My whole world just dropped to the floor, and I went, what do you mean? He went, Mum, Adam's been stabbed. Oh, I said, oh, God. So I phoned my sister straight away, said, Pauline, he's been stabbed, so she come and got me. And we went straight to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, we were all in this little room. There was myself, my sister, her husband, Joyce and Fred and their girls and their families and my lads and his friends and the girlfriends and wives. This little room was just packed out with people, and after a while we didn't know what was going on. The doctor came in and he just said, like, Adam's a strong lad. He said, we're doing everything we can, but there may come a time when we have to stop him. We all just screamed, no, please don't do that. Just go back and work on him. So they did. They went back. And again, a short while later, they came back for our Joyce and Fred and the two girls, and we took them. And me and my sister, my youngest sister, thought, oh yeah, what's going on? So we just went, and we couldn't go through the glass doors. We had to wait outside the trauma room, and we could hear them shout, please, no, don't do that. Don't you go anywhere, Adam. Don't do it. Don't go. Don't turn it off. And they've obviously turned the machine off. They'd finished with him. At that, the door flew open, and my youngest niece came out, and she ran to the toilet, and she just threw up. His dad came out, and he was just stood against the wall, and he was just in shock, and he went, he's gone. He's gone. We were out, after a while, I had to tell my boys then, and they were broke, and they're still bad to this day. Everybody who was with him that night, they're all traumatised, from his mum and dad to the girls, to my boys, to his friends, to the family. It's just had a knock-on effect to everybody, and it's never ending, and it's awful. So after a while, we got told that we could go in and see Adam, but, you know, he wasn't our property anymore. He wasn't our Adam anymore. He belonged to the coroner. So we weren't allowed to touch him. We could go in, but they said to us, try not to look around, because what you're going to see is not nice, but we can't move nothing because it's a crime scene. So we goes in, and of course the first thing you do when you get told not to do something is you look. So I kid you not, it's not like Casualty on the telly. What we saw that night was horrendous. There was blood on the ceiling, the walls, the floor, there was towels on the floor, swabs, sheets, Adam was lying on the bed in front of us. His sister was singing In the Arms of an Angel. His youngest sister was saying, just take me, come back and take me. His dad was saying, please don't go, son. You know, Adam was laying on this bed and he was covered from the waist down. He was bare from the waist up. And the sights we saw, again, it's never going to leave because he had tubes in his chest. He had tubes in his sides. The worst thing I've ever seen in my life is Adam was stabbed in his neck. And they actually had to make the wound bigger, I would have thought, because sticking out of his neck was a pair of clamps between 6 and 12 inches long, trying to clamp this vein. We couldn't touch him. We weren't allowed to touch him at all because, as I said, he wasn't ours at this present time. His eyes were half open and a tear was running down his face, and his mum dabbed that tear away from her son who died. That's the last thing she got of her son.
No one should ever have to go through this. What you're talking about now.
No, it's traumatic. It was horrific, and we live with this every day. And you know, we go out and we laugh, and then you feel guilty because, you know, it's just one of those. It's horrible things. It's horrible. Adam was then took away to Liverpool because he was under the coroner. He belonged to the coroner, and it was really, I don't know, it must have been a week or maybe a little bit less, maybe a bit more before we could see him. And when we went down, he was covered from the neck right down. All you could see was his beautiful face and his hair. We were allowed to see him maybe twice, and then we couldn't see him anymore because, as well as they had to do more than one autopsy because they have to have a couple done in a murder case. I don't know why, but that's what they have to do. And we actually only buried Adam in January, so he was actually dead nearly 3 months before we could get his body home and cremate him. My sister and her husband and the girls had his ashes for a few weeks before they actually laid him to rest. Just don't want to let go, you know. We just didn't want to let go. It's horrendous, yeah. But I say it's an ongoing effect because it's just affected. It's just traumatic for everybody. We're just such a close family, and what it's done to us, it's just like tearing people apart. And we're just trying to drag them all back in, and just to stay together. And you get angry, you know. It's all horrible. It really is horrible. Yeah. So
it really is hard. I mean, listening to you talking there, Julie, it's brought a tear to my eye.
It's heartbreaking.
You know, no family should ever have to go through what you lot have gone through, and you know, I've met you all personally, and you're such a lovely family. You know, and to have to go through what you guys have gone through, I know I don't think I would have coped with it. You know, I just don't think I would have done.
I think it's because we've got each other. So to be honest with you, we've got each other and we are such a close family. None of us have been in any trouble. We are a close family and we stick together like, I mean, those three sisters, we are so close. It's unbelievable. And if one hurts, we all hurt. And I'll be honest with you, his mum, she's not very good at the moment, but when she's strong and she keeps me and my youngest sister going. She really does. She's stronger. She's quite a strong person when she starts, but obviously at this time of year now, she's not too good. So, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, as you said, the anniversary was only on.
Yeah, Monday.
It was only on Monday. You know, and you know, it's as you just said. Then the impact it's had on your family, but you know, it also has an effect on the community and his friends. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you see it day in, day out. I mean, as I was saying to Dawn before, I don't want to, like, if I go out round Prescot on a night out, I tend to get a taxi back. I only live by the retail park, but I don't want to walk home because I'm scared. You know,
it is, yeah. It's very scary. Me and my husband go out now. We go out in the daytime. We tend not to go out at night time now because I'm scared, and I'm fine. I mean, my kids are all grown up, but I'm fine with them going out, and I'm still like, where are you going? What time are you going to be home? Don't be late. Stay together. And it's just, you know, I mean, I'm the grown adults. I must get on the nerves, but I can't help it because I'm the mum, and I'm worried. You know, so yeah.
You know, good reason to be.
Well, yeah, you know, that's the thing. You know, when people do think sometimes, it's never going to happen to me, but it can. And
trust me, yeah.
And it's so close to. You know, as I say, it was literally around the corner from where I live. It's so close, and you know, I think it did affect the community in a big way.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the community come together in a way I've never seen it before.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just heartbreaking.
It is, because and it's like I say, it's ongoing because we haven't got anybody for him yet. It's we just want justice for him. We want justice for him.
That's the more frustrating part, isn't it? Because there's nothing sort of concrete come out of it. There's no sort of there's nothing been caught or anything. No. It seems to have hit a full brick wall, and it's got to be so frustrating and annoying.
It is. It is very frustrating because they're not knowing. Yeah, they're not knowing.
A few weeks ago when that announcement was made that they arrested a couple of people on about him. Thought great stuff. About time. And then unfortunately they were released without any charge.
Under investigation, weren't they?
Under investigation, So, I mean, we don't know nothing about that yet, so I can't comment on that. That's
no.
That's the police job. So, we don't know nothing about that. So, that's how it affected me. And, and I just saw the bit in the hospital. My 2 boys were with him that night and his friend. They had to try and save his life. I've got a lad who's got PTSD. I've got another son. He's not good. He lifts his head up and he tries to get on with things, but no, he's not good. His wife's not good. I mean, we all went downhill again on Monday. His 2 sisters and his mum and dad. Oh, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because we just want to stay all together, and it's so hard. Some people can't go here, and some people can't go there. It's horrible. It really is horrible. Yeah.
That's the thing, and people don't realise the effect that it has on
it's a knock-on effect,
on families, and they don't, and it's so easy to just read a headline in the paper or read something but it really does affect people, and listening to what you've just said, Julie, anyone out there who knows anything, how can you sit there and listen to Julie and protect the person that's done this? You're just as bad as them in my view, and I might be out of turn for saying that, but absolutely.
I mean, I'm not saying that word. I believe you, and I do agree with you, but I won't say that word. But I mean, if it was one of my boys, any parent, any decent parent would say, I can't live with that. I'm not having that on my head. But again, no. Obviously, we're not all the same.
No.
Obviously, we're not all the same. So, but it's horrific, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through what we're going through. It's something you see on the telly. You don't think it's going to happen to you, but my God, it can. It's happened to us. Yeah. A lovely family. It can happen to anybody. And all I can say to anybody is, gangs, if you've got knives. If somebody comes at you with a knife, you're not a coward by turning around and running, because if you're running, you're going home to your mum and dad. Adam never got home to his mum and dad. Just run. You're not being a coward. Just run and get away from that blade, because if that blade goes in you, you might never get home to your mum and dad.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, it's just horrible. It really is. And obviously you've set up the Adam Ellison Foundation. Has that helped you as a family to be able to do something like that?
Do you know what? I've done a bit well after the effect of having family and friends. Yeah. Do you know what? It's family and friends. I'll just clear this bit first. It's family and friends. I mean, we're all devastated. Everybody who loved him. We've had people from America and Australia and everything, and offering us support. And we have days where we're so down, and we get messages on the page, and it picks us back up again, because they're all behind us 100%. They all want justice for Adam like we do. And when we're having a bad day, we look at the computer or on the comments on the computers, and it just picks us up. And our community is amazing. We can't fault them, because they're right behind us from day one, and now still, like I said to you, if we're down, they're right behind us. And they're picking us back up, because they're helping us to fight for justice for Adam. Yeah.
I mean, that is one of the good things about Prescot is, you see a lot of people arguing and stuff on Facebook and stuff, but when something happens, the community here, the differences get put aside, and everybody comes together.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, Adam, what we're doing with the community is we're going to, and from January, we're going to be going into primary schools in Prescot and Whiston to spread awareness on knife crime. That's our aims now. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be continuing to work with St Helens College, with the Daniel Fox Foundation, and Alan Walsh with the Real Men Don't Carry Knives. We've also been invited to St Helens Chambers starting next week to talk to students there as well. We've helped a lot of people in the community as follows. We've also got a meeting with the council as well. I don't know what that's about. I mean, we're having a meeting next week about all that. But what we've actually done is, when we do fundraising, we've always said from day one, the community's helped us 100%, and we're going to give them back 100%. What we get in, we give back out. We've only been going, maybe just over 12 months, like a bit longer, and up to now, a few that I can tell you we've helped. We've helped MBLA, which is a local group from Prescot, who have now got a little wide following. Yeah. Never Be Lonely Again. We've helped Friends of Prescot Cemetery. They had benches pinched. We've bought a bench to replace one of them. We've helped the Air Cadets. We've helped victim support, because they've helped us so much, and they help other people, so we thought it would be nice to help them. We've helped Friends of Eaton Street, Child Bereavement, Northwest Ambulance Service, Mission for Christmas, Prescot Cables. We've also helped at Prescot Shelter with kettles, toasters and irons, at the Imaginarium Theatre, Yates's Cortexmas Party, the Violet Grace, Pensioners Party. We've had one. We're going to be doing another one for different pensioners come Christmas time. That's all in hand. And we also got a football team. We have a football team, and it's Adam's friends and family against teams that want to play us. And it's really good. They have fun. It's getting the friends together and way remember him, So that is what we're doing. So we're just giving out what we get in, because we want to help the community like they're helping us, and it's keeping us going,
And that's it. Like when things like this happen, the community does pull together.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And that's what you need, And it's as you've just said. Then when you're feeling down, you look at the support you've got from the community, and it picks you up. And I think everybody listening to this tonight can't not be touched by what you said earlier.
No,
it's heart-wrenching.
It is heart-wrenching. And again, all I can stress and say is, please, anybody, any bit of emotion, anything in your heart, anything that just do it anonymously. We need help. We need help to get these people that's killed an innocent young man. He's been took away from us in the most horrific way. No child should die before the parents, and certainly not in this way. You expect people to die when they're ill. That's coming, but not to be took away from you like that. So please, all I can say is, from our family, from the community, for everybody, please, if you've got any idea, please, if you ring Merseyside Police on 101 or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111, any information you've got, just please pick up the phone, do it anonymously. We need this sorting now. It's gone on long enough. Our family needs some justice. We need justice for Adam.
We do. We do. And I can't stress enough what you just said. If you know anything, just get in touch. You don't even have to give your name.
No,
just
not at all.
Put this family out of their misery and just give them the justice that they deserve. It's not hard for you to pick up a phone.
No.
It needs to be done.
It's been 2 long years. It's been 2 long years, and it's heartbreaking. The more we go on, we're getting older, and we've got young nieces. He's got young nieces and nephews, and we just it's awful. It really is. And we just want justice. We just want to be able to get this sorted, and because it's not right. Things should be moving now. They should be moving,
when people don't understand the effect that not having that closure has, it makes it 10 times worse. Because it's just wrong. I can't understand why people can't.
We're waiting for a phone call. We're waiting for every day. Is today going to be the day? And this is how you are. And then the end of the night comes in and go, God, no, another day's gone. I was actually in Turkey on holiday when I got a phone call about the arrest that day, and I just wanted to go home and be with my family, and I couldn't. this is how bad it's got you. You know, it's like you're living from day to day. You're just waiting for that phone call to say, you know what, we've got them and we've charged them, and that is what we're waiting for. But we're not going to be able to do that without people's help.
No, and people do need to help. You know,
Yeah, they do.
Again, I can't stress enough. Just ring the police if you know somebody out there knows who this person was. Somebody knows, and you need to do the right thing.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
really do.
Yeah,
they really do. So I'm going to leave it there, Julie, for tonight.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you.
It's absolutely as I say, it's brought tears to my eyes here. I'm listening to you, and it's just.
Yeah, we need to get out there. We need to know what he's gone through. We need to do this in the schools and the colleges and whatever. We know it needs to be, because the knife is not the answer. No. It's not. Yeah. Thank you for listening to my story, and let's hope we get some results soon. And
hopefully soon. Well. Give my love to the whole family, Julie.
Oh, well, of course, I will, yeah, definitely.
And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much, thank you. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Broadcasting to the Northwest and around the world, this is L35 Online Radio. Call Phil now on 07561 157 404 and have your say. L35 Online Radio. Got something on your mind? Then call Phil on 07561 157 404 and have your say.
Welcome back to Have Your Say on L35 Online Radio. If you do want to get in touch tonight, obviously it has been a bit of an emotional one. If you do want to get in touch with us, you can email us at studio@l35onlineradio.co.uk, or you can WhatsApp or text us on 07561 157 404, or of course head over to Facebook. You can drop us a message, or you can leave us a message on one of the posts we've posted.
Can indeed. I was saying, we've just been saying them off air. I mean, talking to Julia, then that was really hit a home, doesn't it? That was. I mean, we've read the bits in the press about what happened and things, but to actually hear it from a family member, what went on inside the hospital and saying that was just unbelievable. It's awful.
I mean, I must apologise for using the word what I did on her, but it's just how I felt, and again, I can't stress enough, if you do have any information, you need to do the right thing and get in touch with the police. You really do.
There's someone there. There is.
So we're joined now by Alan Walsh from Real Men Don't Carry Knives campaign. Hello, Alan.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, not too bad. So can you tell us a little bit about the campaign, what it's all about?
Yeah, the campaign started roughly around about 2 years ago. It's I'm a youth worker in the city, been for over 20 years, and I've had the experience of being in that position where Julie and the families have been. I've seen young people who have died through being stabbed to death and stuff like that. So I can feel a little bit of the pain and the impact that them guys feel. So over the last 2 years, I've been telling people for a long time that knife crime and young people have got access to weapons a lot easier now these days. So we decided to start a campaign that brought a massive awareness to people in the city of, do you know what, we need to deal with this and we need to hit it head on. So I was sitting down with an organisation called Disarm in Liverpool, and that's made up of a multi-partner approach. And I was speaking with a lady called Joanne Matthews, and we come up with this Real Men Don't Carry Knives. And I don't know if you remember years ago, you might be too young, you guys. I don't remember years ago when the Yorkie done the advert, women can't eat Yorkies.
Oh, yeah.
Yorkies sold more Yorkies than you've ever sold. So we decided to call it Real Men Don't Carry Knives, purposely to be controversial a little bit. And we have had loads of young girls challenging us, well, why is it just men? Why haven't you put women there? And this year, next year we're going to change now. We do a lot of female workshops, but we'll add the females into the title. So we've done what it had to do. But we're not just a campaign, we're a massive, massive education programme. So we actually, behind the campaign is a project that's engaged with over 55,000 young people in Liverpool at the age 11 to 18. They've all gone through our education project. From there, we do little workshops, and we currently work with 13 lads who've actually stabbed other lads.
Wow. So do you do that alongside other partners like the police and the council and stuff? Is it like a whole lot of people?
Multi-partner approach. So we have police disarm, we have the schools, education, we have the hospitals, we have parents who have lost kids to knife crime, we have perpetrators of knife crime and victims generally of knife crime. We've worked massively over the last 12 months with the media, radio stations, the telly and the Echo, which, you know what, I'm not saying it because I'm on air, but you guys have been absolutely brilliant. The publicity you give us and give out there. We understand you've got to share the negative approach, but you've been absolutely brilliant in getting the positive stuff out there that we've done and the work that's going on in the city. I currently am based in Alderey Hospital on a Friday and Saturday night, so we're trying to get young people as soon as it's happened so we can work alongside them. We work closely with Liverpool's unit, the Violence Reduction Unit in Liverpool, that's based now that's a multi-partner approach. So I honestly believe, and I've been all around the country, I honestly believe that Liverpool's leading the way in the battle on knife crime. I do. And we've been doing this multi-partner approach now for 2 years, and it's working. We're not saying, and if anyone says, you know what, this is going to go away in the next 12 months, 2 years, it's not. It's a battle. And I said it in London on the 20th of December last year when we went down to visit people in London. We're at war with knives, and to be at war, we need the war cabinet. Now, Liverpool have got that war cabinet. We've got the police, we've got the crime commissioner, we've got youth services, education, and we've got people like Adam Ellison's family and Danny Fox's family and Sam Cooke's family and stuff like that, all on board, and they're all working and doing their little bit to win this battle.
And that's the thing, like as I was saying before to Dawn and Julie, the community really do come together to fight this because we know it's affecting us, you know, and we have to come together to tackle it. And
that's, you know what, you bang on. And the only way to beat this, I was in a school the other day yesterday in school in Croxteth, in a primary school, and I was delivering to the young people there. And it's, when I started my career, I never ever thought I'd be delivering knife crime awareness sessions to year sixes. No. But we are, and it's done in a kind way, it's done in a fun way. We have a laugh and joke doing it, but we get the serious message across. But what we've done now, we've created, like just yesterday alone, we created another 25 knife crime ambassadors. These are young kids who are going to go out and tell people, do you know what, don't do that, or talk to the mum and dads about it. And the school's now a knife-free zone, and they're doing all these workshops around knife crime. And it's what we've got to look at, and we spoke about it time, we've got to stop talking about knife crime and start talking about youth violence. Knife crime's the pinnacle, and gun crime's the pinnacle of youth violence. That's the worst case scenario. What we've got to talk about is how do we stop it before it gets there. Now, in Alderey Hospital, where I'm based, they're absolutely, they've embracing this massively, and they totally agree with what we've said. Well, by the time young people have come in who have been stabbed, it's too late. So what we're doing, we're trying to get them at an early age and working with them earlier and using the hospital and the hospital's pulling power and the name of the hospital that can help. And it's all about education. That's what it's about educating. I've been stabbed myself. I was stabbed 3 times and they tried to cut my leg off. Well, done a serious damage to my leg, and I died twice in the operating theatre.
Oh, God.
And so I've seen the impact it's had on my family. I've seen the impact it has long term as well with I walk with a limp now and I need a new hip and whatever else. And so I've seen the other side of it. I've seen the kids dying. I've felt the knife myself when it's gone in, and I've seen the impact it's had on my family. And my mum and dad were very, very lucky. Their son's still alive to tell the tale. So I do. So I'm one of them people who can say I've got the scars to prove it. So it's
something that you've actually been through.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's not all people like me. I'm 49. It's not all people like me. It's not the police, and it's not you guys. It's the only people that's going to stop this and win this battle of the young people of Liverpool and the surrounding areas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wherever it's affecting.
Definitely. So, have you seen an impact with the education stuff that you've been doing? What sort of impacts has it had on the kids? You know, have you seen a reduction in certain things and stuff like that?
Definitely. For example, I won't mention the name because it's not fair on the college, but I was delivering a session in the college the other day, and I finished delivering to, I think it was roughly around about 30 students, and I went straight from that session to deliver another session in the same college. And about 10 minutes into the next session, I got a call from the tutor, can you come upstairs? I said, why? They said, well, when we've gone back into the room, a student's left a knife on the table.
Oh, wow.
So that straight away, we've seen the impact, and we've seen whatever else. I know through the stuff, we work on the streets and stuff like that, and we do like late night football funded through the commissioner's office and that. So we see the impact that we're having. We do see it, and it's we have testimonials of people who've walked away. So it is hard to monitor it. You look at now. You look at like the stop and searches, and what they're saying is knife crime's gone up, or taking knives off the street gone up. But for me, that's a real positive, because what we've got, the police are doing the job properly. They're searching people the way people want them to, and they're taking knives off the street. So obviously it is going to go up. But what we've seen, and I'm only going through what we've seen in the hospitals at the moment, the Alder A Hospital, they've seen a little drop in people coming into the hospital who've been stabbed, and the use of knives. So hopefully that's part of the work we've had on. Now the schools have said, after we've finished with them, the stuff they've had, and they're having a major impact of continuing the discussions after we've gone. I say, we work with that many kids now who've stabbed people. I've never known it in my career. I've got 6 kids who have self-referred to me, who have used knives. Never had that in my career, never. But it's the work we're doing, and we're not showing them all glory photographs. What we're doing is taking them on a little emotional journey of what it's like for a parent to see the son or daughter murdered.
Well,
so to get them to see that. So, just for example, we put them on a 12-week program. It's longer, but we do initial 12-week hard-hitting program. And the 11th week, they sit in front of a mirror and they talk to themselves and ask themselves questions like they're the victim of what they've done. Like, for example, they sit in front of the mirror and they'll ask themselves the question, why did you stab me? And they've got to answer it. We've gone through a few mirrors at the moment with that, because on the 12th week, they meet a parent who's lost a kid to knife crime. So it's really hard hitting, but we know we've had knives handed in, we've had knives with we do a late night football, and we've had people come up giving us knives there and stuff like that. We know the impact it has. We're most probably guilty that we haven't had research over the last 2 years doing it, but before that we've done this for 20 odd years. This is not like a little drop. We're not here just jumping on the bandwagon and doing knife crime. We've been monitored by the sports minister from Parliament. We've been monitored by Moores University and stuff like that. So, and they've all found real positive stuff coming out of it. They see the benefits of what we do.
That's it, and it's, as you say, going out to the kids early enough to get this message across. It will stop them getting into that, oh, well, my mate's carrying a knife, so I'll carry a knife type thing. And,
this is the big message we're getting across now. We're trying to get a message across now. Do you know what? Not everyone's carrying a knife. Because the people have got this illusion now that, you know what, I've got to carry a knife because everyone's carrying a knife. So part of our education is telling them that, you know what, only a small percentage of people around the country carry knives, and even smaller percentage actually use them knives. And then, but we're trying to get across, you know what, you're safer. One of our big messages, you're safer not carrying a knife anyway. But we're trying to get it across them. This is where hopefully that we can work with people like yourselves in the media, where you get that message across, you know what, let's break this myth that everyone's carrying a knife, because they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you go out, I mean, as we were talking before to Dawn about Danny Fox, the guy got away with it because he said he was carrying the knife for self-defense. And it's like, but you don't need a knife for self-defense. If somebody pulls a knife on you, run away. Run away. Don't stay and fight, and don't pull out a knife to fight him back. Just run away.
When did that ever become an excuse to carry the knife to protect it? That's not an excuse, is it?
No,
and
it's not.
This one of the big ones now. You hear a lot of excuses, and I've heard them for many, many years. I didn't mean to do that. That's not an excuse anymore. You carry a knife, you have the ability to kill a human being. So it's not an excuse anymore. I didn't mean it. So that's the biggest load of tosh I've ever heard.
It is. I mean, and obviously we've mentioned a couple of times about the government's cancelled a petition that's got 75,000 signatures on it, and it's like, what the hell? People in the local community are trying to solve a problem that the government should also be tackling.
That's the shame about it. It's the shame about anything to do with youth work. It's all political. And if we've got to take young people, in one way, we've got to take young people off the political table, because these services should be around forever for young people and the stuff, so we can work with these young youth clubs. We should never make youth clubs a political thing. They should be back on the table. They should be there for young people to attend. Now, when you look at stuff like it's giving young people, that youth clubs give young people a voice in the community, and they give young people a voice at local politics, without talking to councillors and stuff like that. So we've got to start listening to them and stuff. So when it's horrible to think that they're using young people and young people's services as part of their political battling, and the same with the thing, the petition and stuff like that. We can't make all this political. It can't be political. Stuff like this, they've got to either be very clear on the law, or revisit the law and say, now, I'm not a lawyer, and I won't even get into talking about the law. That's not my issue. That's for them people who get paid a lot more money than me to talk about. But we can't. I think I don't know if I made myself clear at that point, to be honest with you. But it's not. We can't make it a political thing. Now, I've seen on Facebook tonight Adam Ellison's and Daniel Fox's frustration, let's say, of that getting suspended because politics, the parliaments have suspended and stuff like that. So I know them guys have been campaigning for a long time to get that law changed, and just to put the Facebook on one day and realise, you know what, our position has been suspended. My heart goes out to them. They've been fighting that battle.
Exactly.
So it's,
and I mean, like I do get your point about it. You know, it doesn't need to be politicised, because obviously this campaign this petition to get the law changed, no matter which government's in power, whether it be Conservative, Labour, Lib Dems, whoever wins this election, still need to change the law. So, you know, the petition itself wasn't even political. It was just to get whoever's in government to actually debate the law, and to just literally cut it off because there's a general election. They could have just paused it, and then whoever is in government from December can then
back up again.
Yeah, like there's just no need to cancel it. I just don't understand why cancel a petition that's got 70 when it's such an important petition. It's not even like you know, it's changing the knife crime law, and all politicians know there is a massive issue at the minute with knife crime, and well, not just knife crime, with violent crime in general.
It's where it doesn't affect them really, does it? So they don't. Then very rarely will them people come across knife crime and whatever else. It'll go to them at the Parliament and whatever else, but very rarely will knife crime impact their lives. So it's, in my view, I don't think it's not high on their agenda for them, because they'll do it because it's in the media. But it's like a lot of things, they don't affect them. It doesn't, going into a talk of politics, if we come out of the EU, the National Health Service ain't going to affect them guys because they go private and whatever else. So
exactly, that's the thing. And you know, as I was saying to Dawn before as well, you know, the police, they don't have a lot of funding to do stuff. And like my dad's he was a cop, retired a couple of weeks ago, but he knows Dawn quite well.
Yeah.
And I saw how that case affected him as a person, you know, and the police want to do so much and they can't because they don't have a lot of funding.
I see it. I work very close. We have the school liaison officers in Liverpool, and they do an outstanding job. I think there's 6 or 7 of them. I think one might have retired a few weeks ago, but they do an outstanding job, and they've got that relationship with the young people in the schools and stuff like that. And I know from one of the young people I had the misfortune of seeing passing away, I know one of the police officers, he was one of the officers on the scene, and but he doesn't talk about it. And if you don't look at that side of it, where we think, you know what, they're doing the job, like the poor ambulance fellas who have to go and pick these kids up and see these kids dying in front of them and stuff like that. We don't look at them, and that the councillors and the politicians, certainly don't look at them. They just think, well, they're doing the job. Now, the police, I spend a lot of time over the last 2 years working with the police and being at meetings with the police, and they're just as frustrated as the families who have lost kids, and as me as a youth worker. They don't want to be getting called to houses and pulled out in streets where young people have lost their lives. And they don't. And they're only human. They live with that for the rest of their lives. But people in Liverpool, I think we're getting 2,000. Don't quote me on the numbers, but I think we're getting 2,000 officers back on the streets. but over the last few years we've lost 2,300 officers.
Yeah.
So it's all, for me, it's all token gestures what the government do. And
well, it is, isn't it? It's like, oh,
yeah.
well, we've took 21,000 police officers off you over 10 years, but we'll give you 20,000 back over 5. It's like, and they don't realise what they're doing to communities. Like, again, I was listening to Julie before, and I was literally, I had tears in my eyes listening to what she went through. And like, I literally lived over the road from where that happened, and it affects the whole community, and they don't realise, and...
Well, they don't. And I said to a kid the other day, doing a session with him, I said, well, do you know if you stab me? I said, who gets affected by you killing me? And he said, me and you. I said, well, who else then? He said, oh, your mum and dad. I said, yeah. And I said, in the papers, in the night time, or the television will turn down and say, so-and-so stabbed Alan Walsh to death. His mum and dad are devastated. I said, so people are only thinking, well, there's only 4 people there involved, the perpetrator, the victim, and my mum and dad. But there's not, as you've just quite rightly said, it's a whole community.
Yeah.
That happened outside your front door. Yeah. It affects you, no matter what you think, no matter how tough or whatever else. It plays in the back of your mind, this is what happened. And you walk past that post and you see the flowers that are laid on the floor or tied around the lamppost. It's the kids that get scared. It's a massive. We do a massive program on the ripple effect, the education program on it, and it does. I remember when a kid I know who got killed, and I was crossing the road, and a lollipop man said to me about it. He said the shame about that kid, and he hadn't seen this kid for 7 or 8 years. He used to cross him over the road when he used to go to school, but he was affected by it because he remembers the kid.
Yeah,
and when somebody's being stabbed, any murder, but it's almost knife crime. It doesn't go away. It sends fear through a community. It sends devastation, and everyone's traumatized through what it is, what's going on.
It does. I mean, like I'm 37, and I tend now not to go out round town. If I go out round Prescot on the night as well, I get a taxi back, and I'm only like a 5-minute walk, but I won't walk it because you just don't know who's out there. And again, it makes me sound soft, but I see a gang of kids, and I'll cross the road because you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's a sad state of affairs where people are crossing the road to avoid people because they just don't know whether something's going to happen.
There was a lady on Granada Reports a few months ago, and I don't know if you remember it. She turned round and she said, she was just from Liverpool. She said, yeah, my 2 sons both carry knives, and they go out the house and carry knives. And I sat here, and I made me and my wife in the house, and I said to my wife, do you know what? And I swore, I went all the effing work we've done. And I said, and they've put a Scouse lady on the telly, and this is what she said. And I watched it again and again and again, and I watched it 5 times, 6 times. And the meaning, she didn't mean it that she sends them out on the street to hurt anyone with knives. She honestly believes that her sons will come home safe if they carry knives. And I was thinking to myself, how bad's that? How society got to this point that we have to make sure our kids are armed and they walk out the house. Right? At first I thought, you're basically saying that it's time for your kids to carry knives, but she wasn't. She was saying in her head, she actually believed by letting her sons carry knives, she knew it was wrong, but by letting them carry knives, she thought, you know what, there's better chance than coming home safe to me.
Yeah, and it sadly doesn't work, because I think if you've gone out with a knife, then even if you are genuinely taking it for self-defense, if somebody pulls a knife on you, you're going to use her. Whereas if you've not got a knife, you just run away, and that's the safest option. Run. There
is the safest option, and and one of the other big programs we're doing, and I think this may have a massive impact, is we're doing a massive parent project with troubled families in Liverpool. So we're going to be we're going to work with initially 600 families who be deemed it may be at risk, or the kids may be at risk of being involved in gang culture, and we're going to talk about the signs and symptoms of gangs and stuff like that. But one of the things the reason I'm so happy being involved with this, because over the last 2 years I've spoke to just under 100 parents and asked them, who do you think is responsible for taking these knives off the streets? And I was quite saddened, to be honest with you, to get the majority of the parents said it's the police's the schools and users, youth workers, and they'd not once did any of them. It was only the smaller percentage said it was started at home. Parents have got a role to play in this, and it saddened me to think, but you know what? Most stabbings, of course, with kitchen knives from the house.
Yeah.
If we all, it is, you said, touched on it before, it's a massive, massive community problem, and we've all got to take our, all got to do our bit for it and stand up to it.
We do, and that's the thing, and you know, we're stronger together at the end of the day. The community coming together will beat these cowards at the end of the day, you know, because your tagline, it is right, real men, they don't carry knives, because, you know, only cowards will carry a knife. Because, you know, and it doesn't make you hard, it doesn't make you look good because you're carrying a knife, you know, it makes you look like a coward at the end of the day. If you can't...
most people think, most 99% of the population have got that view, what you've got, and I've got it myself. You're a coward if you carry a knife, you've got no reason to. And I've asked thousands and thousands of young people to give me a genuine excuse and a genuine reason why it's okay to carry a knife. And you know what? I'm a fully support, and I'm a massive advocate for young people, and not one of them have given me an answer to it, because they said, there's no excuse, and the majority of them have said, because you're a coward. And that's it. So they all know it. So it's only the small percentage we've got to change. Small fraction of the communities we need to change the mindset of.
And it's just getting that message out to them. And
it is.
And, you know, I think the work that the three organisations that we've spoken to tonight, the work that you guys are doing is, you know, it's incredible. And I mean, you know, there was a gap there that needed, and the community and people have come together and thought, you know what, we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to let this happen. We're going to fight it. And I can't stress enough how, you know, how much it's needed, and, you know, it's amazing. The stuff that you guys are doing is amazing. It really, really is.
Thank you very much for that.
Thanks. Really is. So we're going to have to leave it there for now, Alan. So
thank you for having me on.
No, thank you so much for coming on. I just hope what you've said has resonated with some people who are listening. I really, really do.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Cheers, Alan.
Thanks, Alan. Cheers, mate.
Bye. Okay, mate.
Bye. Bye.
Call Phil now on 07561 157 404 and have your say. L35 Online Radio. And have your say.
Welcome back to Have Your Say on L35 Online Radio. Well, we've literally got about 4 minutes to go now, haven't we?
It's been a busy night, and it's been
emotional.
It has,
emotional,
you know,
tonight.
and if anyone who was listening to Julie and Julie's story, and you didn't get a tear in the eye from you know, a realistic view, it's just it's harrowing. It really is heartbreaking.
You read it as you say, you read it in the paper and you see it on social media, but when you listen to an auntie that's lost their nephew in such a horrific way, how anyone can not be moved by that?
No,
you know,
the emotion in Julie's voice was unbelievable. It really was. You know, it's so sad. It's very, very sad to hear. It really was, and you know,
I just hope that someone out there gives them the closure that they need.
They need it, you know, and as we said earlier on, you know, someone does know, and they need, you know, to come forward, or that person, you know, who knows that person. They need closure. It's as simple as that. They really, really do. They do indeed.
I mean, and we had a few messages actually, but we couldn't get to them.
We didn't get time at all. It's been a really, really busy one, and it's here and everywhere. This one tonight, it's we knew it was going to be busy, but it really, really was. So thank you to everyone who was involved, and certainly thank you to Dawn, to Julie, and to Alan. They're all doing great, great causes.
They're doing great work.
Yeah, they are fantastic work. They really are. And it's just all about raising the awareness of it.
It is indeed. So next week we are going to be talking paranormal.
We are indeed. The spooks and the ghouls, I think, next week. We both have an interest in it.
Yes.
Have you ever been on it?
I went to one in York years ago. We stayed in some underground vaults type thing.
They're not proper ones.
But yeah, it wasn't a proper one though.
No.
It scared me.
But we need to go on a proper one then.
But it wasn't a proper
Philip,
one.
we really do.
Yeah,
I've been on about 8 now, I would say. first one was I was more scared the first time round than sort of anything happening, and because you're unaware, you don't know what you're expecting. But as I got into them more and more, and you relax more into them, I've got some great stories to tell.
Oh, it'll be an interesting show next
week. It will.
Though.
So if you have an interest in the paranormal, you've done anything with the paranormal, or you don't agree with it, or anything at all, something goes bump in your house of a night time, let us know. In Prescot's got some really, really old buildings. And,
I was going to say,
your old shop, wasn't it?
Our old shop was meant to be really, really haunted, and to be honest, there was some strange. I mean, I'll go into more of that next week, but I remember the girl who had the hairdressers next door actually come running into our shop because something happened, and there was a few things that happened to us as well when we was in there. So, and I've always been skeptical about it, but yeah, it was.
No, I'm one of those people who I'm skeptic, and I want someone physically to push me. I've never had that, but I have genuinely had a door slam in my face right in front of it, and there was a door closure on the side, and it was Newsham Park Hospital. We were at the time, and that is one eerie place. But I've also got some audio as well, which we recorded down there. So we have, got some, and I swear down, it is a proper, genuine audio which we did record. It's only a snip, but it's genuine. And we've got some video footage. So I'll try and get the video footage out actually and see if we can get onto Facebook. But no, that's next week's show. It's going to be really, really good. The paranormal, and if you've got an involvement in it or you've got an interest in it, then let us know. Get in touch.
Yeah, send us a message.
We'll bring on next week.
Yeah,
Philip, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Neil.
It's been a great night. And thanks for everyone getting involved as well. And we'll speak to you next week.
What are you doing Saturday nights? 7 to 11? Nothing? Then listen to me, Big Nell, on L35 online radio when we play you the greatest hits in the 80s all night long. 7 to 11, 80s retro with me, Big Nell, on L35 online radio.
Big Nell on Saturday's 80s Retro Show, 7 till 11. Broadcasting to the Northwest and around the world. This is L35 online radio.